For literally thousands of years, we've looked up at the sky, seen the birds, and just dreamed. It's got to be one of the oldest human fantasies, right? The dream of flight. And in just the last century or so, we didn't just do it, we totally mastered it. So this is the story of how that incredible dream finally took wing.
Right, so how did we pull it off? How did we get from these kind of rickety wooden gliders to the massive jets that carry millions of us around the globe every single day? That's the big question we're going to tackle. And I want you to think of it like a relay race of innovation, where each generation grabs the baton of knowledge and runs with it, building on everything that came before.
And it really did all start with a dream. I mean, way before the first engine ever sputtered to life, people were already sketching it out. We're talking about geniuses like Leonardo da Vinci, way back in the 15th century. Sure, his flying machine designs were never actually built, but they show you just how deep that burning desire to conquer the skies really was.
Okay, so that brings us to the first leg of our big relay race. This is where flight goes from being this beautiful fantasy to a real, honest-to-goodness engineering problem. It all came down to cracking the code. And, the first person to really lay down the rules was an English gentleman named Sir George Cayley. His contribution was, well, it was massive. He was the one who first figured out and named the 4 forces of flight: lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Every single aircraft, even the ones flying today, has to deal with these 4 forces. He literally wrote the playbook for flying.
So you've got the theory, the rulebook is written, the baton is then passed to the next runner in our race, a German engineer named Otto Lilienthal, and his whole mission? To take Cayley's ideas out of the textbook and into the real world, often with his own neck on the line.
And boy, did he test them. Lilienthal conducted over 2,000 successful glider flights. Think about that. He's out there meticulously building these gliders, literally running off hills and proving that, these curved wings really do generate lift. His hands-on data was the absolute missing link. He showed the world that controlled gliding wasn't just a dream, it was possible.
And all of Lilienthal's incredible work directly inspired the final runners of this first great race. This is the moment we're all waiting for, the moment that brings us to the Wright brothers' massive breakthrough at Kitty Hawk.
Now, it's super easy to think the Wrights just, slapped an engine on a glider and called it a day. But their real genius was so much deeper than that. Lilienthal had mastered lift and gliding, for sure, but the Wrights, they cracked the code on control. They actually watched how birds tilted their wings to turn and came up with this idea called wing warping. This gave them control over roll, pitch, and yaw, the 3 axes of flight. That, plus a lightweight engine they built themselves, well, that was the magic formula.
And so, in 1903, it finally happened. For the very first time in human history, a machine carrying a person took off under its own power, flew straight and level, and landed safely. It was just this monumental turning point, and it was all fueled by their unstoppable engineering curiosity.
But here's the thing. Crossing that finish line, it just started a brand new race. The question wasn't, can we fly anymore? Now it was, how far, how fast, and how high can we possibly go?
And the first major push in this new race, sadly, was war. World War I basically crammed decades of development into just a few years. Airplanes went from these fragile wooden canvas things to powerful war machines with way more capable engines.
After the war, the whole motivation changed again. The new goal was to make flying practical for everybody. This was the Golden Age, and it was full of these incredible feats, like Charles Lindbergh's solo flight across the Atlantic in 1927. That one flight proved to the world that you could actually connect continents by air.
But the real game changer, the one that truly opened up the skies for commercial travel, was this plane right here, the Douglas DC-3. For the first time, this tough, reliable, all-metal airplane made flying for passengers both safe and profitable. This is the plane that took flying from a daredevil adventure and turned it into a real industry.
But get this, even as propeller planes were getting better and better, another huge revolution was brewing in the background, a brand new technology that was about to completely shatter all the old limits on speed and altitude. Welcome to the jet age.
So why was the jet engine such a massive deal? Well, piston engines and their propellers just had physical limits. You could only go so fast and so high. Jet engines, pioneered by guys like Frank Whittle and Hans von Ohain working separately, just blew right past those limits. They could fly so much faster and way higher, up in that thin, calm air where flying is just way more efficient.
And the impact was, well, immediate. In the 1950s, you get the Boeing 707, which really kicked off the modern era of jet travel and made flying internationally almost routine. And then, in 1969, you get the Concorde, supersonic passenger flight. I mean, crossing the Atlantic in under 3 hours, the dream of speed had hit its absolute peak.
And that brings us to the lap of the race that we're running right now. Today, the focus isn't just on raw speed anymore. It's about making air travel incredibly safe, super efficient, and accessible for millions upon millions of people every single day.
I mean, the planes we fly in today are just true technological marvels, and their secret is how everything works together. We're talking about lightweight carbon fiber bodies, advanced wing designs that slice through the air with almost no drag, amazingly efficient turbofan engines, and super smart onboard computers that have made flying safer than at any point in history. The goal now is smarter, cleaner flight.
And believe me, this relay race is not over, not by a long shot. The baton is being passed as we speak to a whole new generation of innovators. These are the people working on electric aircraft, autonomous air taxis, and these wild new blended wing designs. The exact same spirit that drove the Wright brothers, it's now being poured into the dream of truly sustainable aviation.
You know, when you take a step back and look at the whole journey, from Da Vinci's first sketches to the latest jetliner, the entire story is just an incredible testament to human ingenuity. It's a story of courage, of just relentless trial and error, and this unshakable belief that our place wasn't just on the ground, but up there in the sky. It's just this incredible journey that all started with a simple, powerful dream. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? With all the challenges and opportunities we have in front of us, what will the next generation of dreamers even imagine for the future of flight?